What's up, guys? Welcome to Gwhisky. My name is Jeff. This is a channel where I offer my thoughts and opinions on a specific whiskey, and once in a while I'll throw in other whiskey-related content. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I want to take a look at the Oban core range. I've got a few bottles with me. I'll be sharing my thoughts on them, and I'm going to be ranking them. Stick around. Okay, so the thumbnail isn't completely true. I do not have every Oban with me. This is not a review of every Oban. They have limited editions. They have special editions. I don't have the limited edition 18-year-old. I don't have the Night's Watch. What I do have is the four main core range expressions, the widely available ones, the ones you're most likely to find. And I'm going to be ranking them today. Now, I should start by saying that I do like pretty much every bottle on this list. Obviously, I do like some more than others, and there is a bit of a dud in there, but we'll get to that. But overall, I'm a huge fan of Oban. It's a controversial distillery. Not everyone's on board, but I think they have one of the best house styles in the game. Of course, a lot of these do come with the usual Diageo pitfalls in terms of specs, and that's not something I want to rant about today. I don't know if I'm just getting more jaded as time goes on, or if it's just like, how many times can you rant over and over about the same thing on a YouTube channel? Probably a lot, but not today. I don't want to get into it, so yeah. Anyway, Oban, for those of you that don't know, it's a pretty famous distillery. It's part of Diageo's classic malts of Scotland, and it's a Highland distillery. It's on the west coast of Scotland. It's famous for having a very sort of salty, coastal, maritime character, which is a style of whiskey that I'm just a huge fan of. Now, for our list today, it's going to be ordered from my least favorite to my favorite, and I'm not going to get too deep into value in this video. I will touch on it, but if you want to talk more about value, you can check out my individual reviews for each of them. I'm going to link them above in the above thingy that comes up, so be sure to check those out. Also, I do have a mystery pour here in my glass. It's a very interesting whiskey, so make sure you stick around after the list. I'll let you know what that is. It is not an Oban, but it's a whiskey that has some common ground with Oban, at least in my opinion. So again, stick around, and let's not waste time. Let's jump into our list, and in the meantime, if you could kindly leave a like down below, that'd be greatly appreciated. Alright, so we'll kick things off with number 4. This is the bottom of the list. I've got an Oban here that's been finished in sherry casks. More specifically, Montilla Fino sherry casks. And ironically, this is my favorite looking Oban. Like, just in terms of the bottle presentation, I think the bottle looks great. Unfortunately, the whiskey inside is not my favorite from the lineup. I've got the Oban Distillers Edition here. Now, this one does come with a bit of an asterisk, though, because the bottle I have here doesn't do very much for me. I think I scored it something like 83, but this is a vintage release. They put out a new release every year, and they're not all made the same. I have had bottles of this from other years, other vintages that I thought were much better than this one. The one I've got here, the 2017 release, honestly, it doesn't need the sherry influence. I don't think it accomplishes anything. I don't think it adds to the whiskey. It feels unnecessary. But again, others do make it work, so it can be really good. It depends on the year that you get, but overall, not my favorite Oban. It's decent though. It's worth checking out. Number 4 is the Distillers Edition. Alright, now for our number 3, we've got the cheapest whiskey on this list. This is one that got started in travel retail, but eventually made its way into the core range. And I believe it's the only no age stated expression that's available from Oban, or at least widely available from Oban. My number 3 pick is the Little Bay. Now this is one that on paper should probably be at the bottom of the list, because not only do we have the usual weak Oban specs, 43% colored, chill filtered, all that stuff, but it's also the only no age stated whiskey here. So I was initially very skeptical of this stuff when I first picked it up, but I've had 3 bottles since then, so that should tell you something. Yeah, this is surprisingly good. We have the usual coastal character that we love from Oban. We have nice balance here. It's not too youthful. Now, it's not likely to blow your mind, but for the cheapest whiskey on this list that's no age stated, I think it punches way above its weight. So my number 3 is the Little Bay. Alright, so for my number 2 pick, this is going to be the least surprising whiskey on this list. This is the most widely available, famous, well-known Oban out there. You can find it anywhere. You guys all know this one. You don't all love it. I've got the Oban 14 here. Now, of course, the ever-present Diageo weak specs are there, as they have been with everything else so far on this list. So this is 43%, it's colored, it's chill filtered, but that doesn't stop it from being a genuinely delicious whiskey. This stuff is characterful, it's textured, it's salty, it's coastal, it's savory, it's unique, and most importantly, its adjectives. I recently reviewed this one. I loved it. I gave it a great score, but I got a little bit of slack from that review because I called it an entry-level whiskey. And for me, it is one. But elsewhere, this is not priced as an entry-level whiskey. In fact, this is massively overpriced in a lot of markets. For reference though, here in Taiwan, I paid the equivalent of $41 US for this bottle. So I'm not mad at it. Great value for me. Oppositely, a bunch of my American viewers started chiming in saying that in some states, this is like 90 or 100 US. Way too much. Listen, I love this stuff. I think it's a great whiskey. It is not a $100 whiskey. So if you see it for that price, skip it. You're not going to get your money's worth. For me, again, it's still reasonably priced. I'll keep picking it up until I can't. For those of you out there who can still find it at a decent price, sure, go for it. As far as I'm concerned, it's still a classic. Number 2, Oban 14. Okay, so we made it to the top spot. For those of you who are familiar with the Oban range, this one probably won't surprise you. This one is a limited edition run, but at least where I am, it's still pretty widely available. You still should be able to find it in your market as well. This is a Diageo 2021 special release, which is a set of very often overpriced, very collectible bottles. I've got the 12 cask strength. Yeah, this one pretty much had to happen. It's definitely not the surprise of the century. So far, we've had 3 colored, chill-filtered whiskeys that come in at 43%, and they're up against a cask strength, naturally presented beast, so obviously. Then again, I have been pretty critical of some of these Diageo special releases in the past, but unlike some other ones, I actually have some pretty good feelings towards this one. I haven't reviewed it yet, so I will be reviewing it for my next review. Make sure you stay tuned for my next video. I'll be going a little bit more in depth, as well as giving it a score. Spoiler alert though, this is phenomenal stuff. I will be recommending it. Our flavors here are cranked up to 11. This is a very punchy, naked Oban, and I'm all for it. Easily the best whiskey on this list, and easily the best release from the current Oban range. So number 1, 12 cask strength. Alright, that's it. That's the list. That's the ranking. Let me know your thoughts. Which ones of these whiskeys have you tried? Which ones would you like to try? If you've tried all 4, how would you rank them? Let me know down below in the comments. Now, I know some of you stuck around for the big reveal. I've got my mystery pour in my glass here, and as I mentioned earlier, it's not an Oban, but many consider this brand, myself included, to be something of a spiritual sister to Oban. What I've got is Old Pulteney 18. Old Pulteney, as many of you know, is another one of those very maritime, very coastal whiskeys. This is actually from the other end of the Highlands. It's all the way up on the northeast coast. We have some buttery flavors in here. We have some floral flavors in here. And of course, that salinity. Beautiful stuff. And yeah, I guess that's it for today. That is how I would rank my Obans. Tell me your thoughts down below in the comments. If you want to help support the channel, please consider becoming a patron. Otherwise, you can like, comment, and subscribe. That is always appreciated. And we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.